Supervisors, I'd like to welcome you all here and thank you for coming. Mark's on his way to Washington D.C. with the rest of the city delegation, so that's why he's not here. First item on the agenda, approve the minutes of the March 17, 2015 regular meeting.
So moved.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any comments on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 2 on the agenda is receive and place on file drainage repairs. We do have a couple today. DD 29, Beaver Dam can be seen by the road, turned in by Don Reaper to BW Controls. And DD 52, in Gallery, Section 17, place a culvert in a ditch, bank 6-inch, 40-inch, paved by district, turned in by Trent Farm.
I'll make the motion to receive, place on file the 4 red drainage repairs.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Any comments on the drainage repairs? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 3 on the agenda is approved wage increase for Corey Simpson, correctional officer, to $15.04 per hour, effective March 21st, 2015, per labor agreement.
Mr. Chairman, I move they approve the wage increase.
Second. Have a motion and a second. Any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 4 on the agenda, approved wage increase for Jesse Albrecht to $13.71 per hour per labor agreement effective March 30th, 2015.
Chairman, I move item 4.
Second the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Have a motion and a second. Any comment on that? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 5 on the agenda, approve the following salary increase per labor contract. Joshua Michael Van Wales, WAS, to $57,743.57, effective March 1st, 2015. Derek Charles Christie to $50,044.44, effective March 11th, 2015. And Amy Jo Stringer to $50,044.43, effective April 15th, 2015.
I'll move item number 5, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any comment on those? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 6 on the agenda, approved Class C liquor license application for Frontier Sports Park pending DRAM endorsement.
Be careful.
DRAM endorsement.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve the liquor license application.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor? Opposed, motion carries. Item 7 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign resolution in support of a regional transportation grant for continued trail development in Fort Dodge and Webster County.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 7.
I'll second this motion, Mr. Chairman.
A motion and a second. Any comment on that?
I'd just like to make a comment that, kudos to Fort Dodge and Webster County for their trails development, because it really is. I know a lot of people will say, well, nobody ever uses them, but the thing about a trail is they're always active, and it's a pleasure to be able to see bicyclists and joggers and walkers and people actually getting outside and enjoying it. So kudos to the work that's been done. Hopefully we can continue to move forward with more trails.
I think the last grant we got was in 2009, so we need to keep continuing applying for those.
I would add, and maybe somewhat of a broken record, but as time goes along, we're probably going to have to ante up a little bit more money in terms of maintenance for those that we create. But it's all in the sake of, in the name of recreation, is so very important for our county, in my view. But if somebody wants to fuss about taxes going up some, chances are part of that at least is going to go to the maintenance of the things we create.
Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 8 on the agenda, receive and place on file Webster County audit reports and financial statements for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2014.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
A motion is second. Any comment on that?
Tweaked by another one, eh, Carol?
Yeah, we did. It's all done. It's before March 31st.
You correct me if I'm wrong, Carol, but this is probably one of the best, if not the best, audit reports we've received from the state in a long time. True or not? There were very few.
Very few. You usually have very few, but you've worked off of some of them, and it's all good. There's nothing substantial, you know. Most of them.
Did you have any part in this?
Yes. There wasn't.
Even with him helping still did all right.
Thank you, Bob, for that.
Segregation of duties still seems to
Yes.
be a problem.
Couple minor infractions, but we're talking, we're gonna work on that. Any other questions on the report? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 9 on the agenda, approve and authorize chair to sign proposal for 3-year SUP agreement for jail milestone camera system.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve and authorize you to sign the agreement with the jail camera system.
Second.
A motion is second, want to comment on that, Mr. Sure.
Oh, yeah, can. You have the, or you should have the invoice, it will be in the packet anyway. What that is the software upgrades, it's the support and the licensing, they're all IP cameras on the jail. We have 72 cameras on the jail floor. So it's to keep the system up. This is through Johnson Controls. Milestone is actually the owner of the software, so we'll go through them. But this is a 3-year plan too. We couldn't do a 1-year because when the jail was remodeled, due to whoever, there was never any maintenance agreed upon back then at that time. And so we cannot get a 1-year agreement. We had to go with a 3-year agreement. But after the 3 years, then we can do it every year, which will be hopefully a little more cost effective. And we just added 4 more cameras, which Johnson Controls helped us with. And they're up and running, but when you buy those cameras now, the IP cameras, they only come with a 30-day window to license. And we'll be approaching our end of our 30 days here before too long, and then those cameras will just shut down.
So all these cameras are inside the building and none of them are outside, or some
All
outside?
72 of those are all inside the jail floor.
Speaking of cameras, how are we coming? Are we getting any headway with body cameras?
I'm waiting for some legislation to come through also, and then I was looking at WatchGuard, which has our in-car video systems, to have body cameras that connect right to that, so it would download automatically to the server up in IT. And they're just starting to come out with those. So we'll be looking at probably a good $10,000 to just do the 12 road deputies.
Any other questions for the sheriff? Thank you. Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 10 on the agenda is receive and place on file manure management plan update for Corner site in section 35 Fulton Township and Mary's site in section 6 Clay Township.
Mr. Chairman, I move item 10.
Second is motion.
Motion is second, any comments? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 11 on the agenda is approve and authorize chair to sign actuarial services agreement with Silverstone Group for GASB 45 valuation and written report for employee benefits plans.
Move item number 11, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second that.
You want to talk on that?
Do you want to explain it?
No, okay.
Actually, that's your actuarial report for your figures that are used on a financial report required because of GASB 45, and you offer retired employees that they can stay on health insurance. So that creates a liability on financial report. So that's your contract, that service is over 3-year contract.
Any other questions on that? Carol, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Item 12 on the agenda is approved directive number 1 of law enforcement center courtroom remodeling project, deleting audiovisual scope of work in its entirety from the project, a decrease of $79,790, addition of $75,380 for a savings of $4,410 for the conference technologies.
Mr. Chairman, I'm next on the list to make motions, and I really don't want to bring this up. So I don't know what the proper move is, other than to say that we want to table or everything that this covers will be on next week's agenda with
With change order.
with an authorized change order for the project that we can discuss at that time. So
I would say if it doesn't get a motion, it just dies.
Dead
Why it's
item.
died. It died. It's dead, let's move on.
There
We have a appeal hearing at 11 o'clock, so we'll move on to citizens' opportunity to address the board with items not on the agenda. Citizens' opportunity to voice their opinions. Hearing none, Board of Supervisors committee reports.
I'll wait till next week to report.
The same thing, I have county social services in Clear Lake tomorrow, and on Thursday, so really nothing to report this week.
I want to comment on the generator project. It's moving ahead this week. We should have the new generator up and running by later this week. I do want to publicly put out there, and hopefully the newspaper and the radio will report this. Thursday is when they're going to switch over, and we'll be running the LEC building off of the old generator power during the day. And we're working through those issues, but there may be some glitches in that building. But over here in the courthouse, at 4 o'clock on Thursday, we will be shutting the computer systems down. And so I would like to have us basically decide that we're going to close the courthouse to the public at 4 o'clock on Thursday. 4 o'clock, he's got to start. It takes him an hour to shut it down. So I don't know if that needs an official thing or not, but
I would say you announce it that it's closed.
just announce.
Closes.
It's just a case of where all of the offices in the courthouse will be able to function after 4 o'clock on Thursday. So I think we just want to put it out to the public that,
The electricity's off, we couldn't do anything.
yeah, so. But that project will be done, so that'll be exciting, and it's just, and once it's done, we're gonna be able to power everything a lot more efficiently, and the whole LEC building will be powered at that point, and some things in this building that aren't now. So it'll be nice to get that project done and out of the way this week, so.
So, in other words, if there's a big power outage in Fort Dodge, they're going to come down to the courthouse, Carol will be serving cookies.
In your degree.
I might also say that during this transition, telecom, 911, those things will not be affected. Those are being generated separately, so there won't be disruption for any essential services, but Thursday at 4 o'clock we'll lose our computers in this building.
And I would like to kind of piggyback on Merrill's statement there. That's what's really nice about this whole project, is that we're picking up a lot of areas that have been missed for essential services that have not been backed up with power supply. So this really is a good project for the overall long-term safety of operations here in Webster County. So
I'd like to thank Merrill for taking that project on. It started out maybe a $300,000 project and turned into a lot more than that.
Well, it's
And a lot of extra work and a lot of unseen things came up that we didn't know, and it's a bigger project than I thought it was gonna be. It took a little longer, but it's coming to an end.
Yeah, and Carol just mentioned too, so the public hears it again, it's lost money, so this is not costing the taxpayers any, taxes on your property. It's all being paid for by sales tax money, so it's a good, and I agree with Clark, it's a major project that's gonna make these buildings function way better in the future, so.
So is it only the two?
Excuse me?
Is it only LAC in this place here that's going to be powered, or is it the bank over there that's going to be powered?
Only these two buildings.
Okay.
The LEC building will be fully powered in the future, where now it's, some is and some isn't. And so it'll be fully powered, which does again include your telecom, your essential services. Right now, the emergency services area, if something happens, is in that building. So court rooms, everything, there's a lot functioning in that building that was always questionable. So that's going to be done. In this building, it will only power the heat, the boilers, but it will also power our IT. So all of the computer networks will stay running if we need them. We may not have lights, but we can still function. The bank building is totally separate. We did look at putting that on this, or combining it, but at the time, a couple things happened. Number one, and I don't know electricity, but it's on a whole different system. So you have two separate systems that can't be coordinated together. I believe public health wants to have a generator over there at some point, so that will be our next thing we'll look at. That will power, you know, the county attorney's office and our functions in there, and public health is concerned, because they would like to make sure they're up and running. But right now, it's not a big building at all.
On the same side of the street is a municipal building, so maybe if the city puts in a big generator, we could tie into that.
It is kind of funny, because we would like to have done it with the one generator, but it's two different bases. They go that, 40 or 660. You understand? Like, it was a completely different mode of electricity that they used, so we actually couldn't do. I don't have any idea what it is, but it's just.
I don't know if the city and county can work together on that, I'm not sure.
Maybe not. But it is.
I don't know if we get along with you
Now,
guys
there's
or
a
not,
quote
I'm not
from the
sure.
newspaper.
From the city council. But yeah, it's a major project, and literally it did, I mean, we started this just thinking we were gonna replace an old generator that's in that building, and it has kind of taken on a life of its own. It's gonna be between $400,000 and $500,000 project when it's done, so.
But it needed to be done.
That's a good
Thanks again for doing that.
A couple things, correct me if I'm wrong, but it strikes me that the health department has a bunch of offices, but that's about it. But I think they have like serums, and they have certain requirements in terms of that can't drop by such and such, and if it does, it's a major disaster for them.
I think that's true. I haven't worked with them directly. Mark's kind of the public health, maybe Clark can mention more on this, but yeah, it is true. They have some things that need to be refrigerated over there. They just basically need to be able to run if the power goes out for an ice storm for a week. That's just they're definitely an entity that needs to probably function at full strength. So that will definitely, along with them, look. But yeah, everybody has to also realize in that it gets confusing, because public health is a separate entity from the county. So they've got their own funding and that kind of stuff, so it's not like us doing it directly. They'll have to do it, maybe we can participate.
Another thing is common sense would dictate that the generator that we have only is run just a tiny bit, except for the notion that every so often it comes on and runs. So you have to wonder why in the world we spend the money to change that to, well, when it hasn't run all that much, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's something about we can't get parts for it anymore. It's 30 years old.
Yeah, that's 30, 35 years old, and again, I would argue that yes, it still runs. Once a week it starts up. It's amazing it starts up, especially since it's 30 or 35-year-old diesel fuel that's still powering it. It's amazing that it still works. But I would say the argument is more that it just literally does not function that well either. Whenever they hooked it up, they did the jail floor and comm center maybe, but I think some air conditioning units aren't on it, the elevator's not on it, the courtrooms aren't on it. Little things like the jail floor, some of the equipment in the jail floor, refrigerators and stuff aren't on it. So it's just, and it was declared by Johnson Control, who kind of runs it, that it still starts once a week, but it's past, it's an insurance policy to me too. That's the reason.
I'm all in favor of that.
Yeah, exactly, Mr. Insurance Man. It's one of those things, we're spending $500,000, and I hope we never have to use it. But we have to have it proper when we do need it. And we all, it's been a while now, but most of us remember the ice storm that kicked out power for a week, so. And the important functions, again, the telecom center and stuff, we have to guarantee that those are running. The rest of things can slide by for a day or two, but those things can't. Jail and telecom are the big ones, so.
Any other comments? Oh, sure.
Motion to roll off claims?
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. We'll recess until 11 o'clock for the appeal.
We don't want to make the sheriff mad.
Thank you all for coming today.